This is it. We're live. I mean, the first ever Bosses Online having a sip.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I guess we won't disclose what time it is.
That's right.
Well, for those that don't know, because we don't know who's gonna be watching this, if anyone even does watch it, Nicolas Desroches himself in the flesh.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Vincenzo.
Of course, the first guest.
This is huge.
Tell us, I know for those that don't know, Nicolas is my cousin, and we've grown up together and have had a lot of fun doing a lot of random businesses. But right now, can you actually talk about the one you're working on now, Nick, or is it too?
Yeah, I'm working on the logo right now. Is it okay to be working while we're doing
I
this?
think we could do whatever we want. We're the boss.
If I could show you what I have pulled up now on my computer.
Let's do it.
Let's see how we switch over here. I'm already messing up. How do we
I think you can
share screen?
Yeah, do some share screen.
All right. Share screen. Okay.
And I'll let you know if I see it.
So, actually, I could just do. It's pretty cool. I can actually just show you my Photoshop.
Nice.
So it's just here, and it actually. So boom. So this is what I'm working on at the moment. This is a black and white illustration from a good friend of mine, Matt Bean, who right now is actually sharing a studio with one of the original illustrators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. His name's Craig Farley, and incredible illustrator. He does insane 3D graphics now. He works for tech companies. He does 3D layouts of tech computer parts. I don't even know what they are. They look like they come out of a spaceship, and then he 3D renders them. And he makes them move, and they're animated. So then when a computer company is pitching the idea to another company, they have this beautiful moving object.
Incredible. So you're talking about the dude that I think he's from New England, I believe, isn't he?
He is originally, I want to say, from Illinois, he told me.
But he's been in New England for a while, I would imagine.
Yeah, so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created here in our hometown here in the Valley,
right?
Northampton, Massachusetts, and they got a lot of the alleys and all that came from Northampton, which is really cool. So Craig's not one of the original creators of Ninja Turtles, but he was brought on to do the illustrations.
Amazing.
And then he's done work for Lego, and he does a lot of stuff. It's really cool. He's a painter.
That's the dude. My grandfather many moons ago did some type of business with him when I was just a kid, and was able to get original drawings of like his own drawings of the Ninja Turtles, like sketched on a piece of paper. It's got to be the same guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Could be. Yeah. I asked him if he does, the Comic-Cons, and he goes, Nick, you have no idea, man. They flew me all over the world. I signed autographs, for years.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. He's a celebrity in that comic book world.
So this dog that you just pulled up there, go bring that back up. That was pretty dope. So like, what are, once again, I mean, for those people that may be watching, I know a lot of what's going on, but I don't know because I know you're dealing with a lot of the trademarking and a lot of legal nonsense. So what are you? Yeah. What could you tell us? What can people know? Like, so that was a logo, obviously, for something you're working on, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So the new startup, what I think will be called Lemmy, is it's an invention I had created. I started it 10 years ago, and now I am really pushing it hard. I had the idea 10 years ago, but that idea wasn't necessarily the the $1 million idea. So I kept it on the back burner and kept trying to figure out the way to really make it work properly. And so I had the light bulb moment happen in November, and I've been, pushing real hard for the past couple months. What have I been doing? I've been really just researching patents, which is it's a lot of work.
Right.
And what I've learned is, if you want to hire an attorney to help you with the application, you're looking at about $10,000. I've talked to 3 different attorneys now, and it's all the same price. Most of the time, they have a $3,000 retainer, which means you need to come up with that money up front. And so I've been learning a lot. So I did a lot of my own homework. I went to UMass, the engineering library, and I worked with some people there, and they really gave me a lot of literature. I've read, probably, who knows, probably read over 1,000 pages of just patent homework stuff. And what's funny is if you do your own homework and you can find some people to help you with the claims section, which is the most important part of a patent. It's when you go to court, that's all your, that's what your lawyer will be reading off is your claims. And if you get really good at it yourself, believe it or not, if you're just a normal guy like me, we're not incorporated yet, it's $65 to put a patent application in. So,
wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. So if you do the work yourself, it's almost free. So that's where we're at.
So this is what's going to be cool about this video is that this actually is we're talking about this for kind of like the first time in regards to, are you at now a point where are you filed, or like where are you at? Did you actually did it, or you're about to?
Right now it's all done. The patent application is out. When Bill Clinton wasn't president, when he was president, he came up with this idea to give inventors 1 year, so you can put what you call a provisional patent application in. It's not a real patent application. I mean, it is in the fact that it holds up in court and it's legal, but they don't even look at that. All it is you submit it. And it gives you 1 year to market it, learn about your products, what you need to fix, and from there, it gives you 1 year. So it gives you 1 year to go to. See, this is for pet owners, my product. So I can go to the Petcos of the world and say, here's the idea. Would you like to license it? And then from there, then you could almost have a company like them pay for your attorney to do the real, we call non-provisional application, or they call it just a regular patent application. And so you can have them pay that $10,000 for you.
Right.
And so what's cool is it gives you 1 year when you put your provisional application in to really feel out the market and see if it's even worth investing and putting more time into it. So it's kind of cool.
Nice, man. Where are you?
Tomorrow I have a meeting with my attorney. She's not a patent attorney, but she's a friend of mine, and she's great. She's super smart. So
she wants a special shout out, or they don't. Those kind of folks don't need. They don't need no. They don't need no.
She doesn't need a shout out. I guess she could. Yeah. Thanks, Leah. I'll leave it at her first name.
All right.
But yeah, she's great. She's Chris Braley's girlfriend, actually. Nice.
So are we at a point now, Nick, that we can people see it, or are we still way too in the beginning where it's still too
we are about 3 days away from me showing it.
Wow.
Yeah. As soon as the application's in, then you can show the world.
Right.
And what we could do is, again, it's for dog owners.
Right.
So here, let's see. I can get you a better. Here's the logo that we've been working on. This is a colored version of it. And this is vectorized, which means you can pull any color and change it. These are all super, super high res. You can zoom in forever and it won't lose its clarity. And this was drawn on an iPad Pro.
Amazing. And now that's from Bean to you, huh?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And so the slogan's pick it up. So let me pick it up. And it's coming out real nice. And he did that, and then he did a black and white version, again with the Apple Pencil and an iPad Pro. He illustrated that.
Love it. So, once again, a little weird for us because we're trying to make this informational and educational at the same time, catching up. But for those that don't know, you've been involved in a live events production company that your father kind of came up with, and now you've been involved for your whole life, pretty much.
Yeah.
And now you just made that big leap where you'll still help them out, but you've left that umbrella and you're going out on your own for the first time.
Yeah. Yep. So I took the leap, the entrepreneur's leap. I went to school to be, I went to school as an entrepreneur, business major. And, this is what's really getting me excited now is creating something new, but I'm still working at the production company a bit. We just did a national tour, a musical tour, a Garfield Christmas musical, which was a big success on the East Coast. We started in Chicago and went down to Florida. That's where we hung out. And then back up to end it in Albany. We did 12 theaters in 4 weeks.
Amazing.
We do everything from casting, directing, writing, composing music, building set pieces and props. Putting the whole thing together and then putting it in a box truck and putting a bunch of actors in a van and going from hotel to hotel to theater. And right. It was an interesting trip, to say the least.
But I also, it's not even just that. I mean, that's a huge part of the business. But one of the cool things I found as I've watched not only you grow, but that company in general grow was that car wrapping. I mean, what a great incentive for a business, to fit into their marketing budget. So when you did the, was it the Hungry Caterpillar?
Yeah, we did one for, the Very Hungry Caterpillar. It's a children's book. I'm sure all of you are familiar with. They're, make over $1 billion in licensing alone.
Right.
You'll see it on anything from bed comforters to backpacks.
Right.
So what we did is a grassroots marketing campaign where we wrapped that one was a Volkswagen Beetle, and Eric Carl, who's the illustrator, we used his illustrations, and we made a Volkswagen look like a very hungry caterpillar. And we hit all these bookstores and had a mascot character of the hungry caterpillar and did a book reading with activities and kind of left it up to the bookstore to create like an activity area. And,
right.
It was great. It's great.
Well, how many, do you have like a ballpark, how many miles you guys actually covered?
With the Caterpillar one, it was over 7,000 miles.
Wow. It's incredible.
Yeah, I started that one in, I believe we started in San Francisco, I want to say. Went up all the way to Portland and then.
Hey, there he is. Well, now there's no doubt that we do these live, and there's no this is that was a little intermission. I'm almost getting done with my first drink here, so this is
So as I said, we work in children's entertainment, so we have a studio filled with stuff like this, which is a lot of fun. We call that character Captain Confidence, and he's seen all over the world, and he's kind of my alter ego, so can keep a lookout for him. Gonna have an Instagram shortly.
Well, I'm super pumped, man, to see this the product actually, you know, working.
Oh yeah, back to the Lemmy.
Yeah.
The Lemmy thing. Yeah. So yeah, it is exciting. The exciting thing was I've been testing it. And it continues to work, so that's exciting.
Right.
But I think as a business owner or inventor, it's there is, you're always battling, worth it, or
Right.
you're getting excited about something real early on, and then you really got to keep working and grinding. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
I think that's something all business owners have to deal with a lot.
Sometimes I wonder, though. I don't know. You and I both have been super blessed with having an array of clientele / friends and just even acquaintances that are business owners, successful and non-successful, whether however you dictate that. And I don't know. There's always a part of me that, excluding my beliefs and just how I feel, like, oh, everything will be all right, like everything's going to be okay. I sometimes don't want to lose that feeling of, I don't want it to be related to fear, but I feel like there's an appropriate, I don't know. It's just like you should wake up in the morning and not, unless you're just sitting on money and you got dividends coming in and you got a product that just works. I don't know that feeling. But I think we always wake up, for the most of us, with that urgency of, I got to succeed today. How do I better myself? Does that make sense? I think we've always, as you and I both have grown up, we're our worst enemy, I guess. And sometimes, no matter, you sign the biggest client of the quarter or the month or ever. And I think it's always, some of us are like, well, we got to do it again. Gotta. Yeah. But I think there's a healthy way of interpreting it and implementing it. And I'm trying to figure that balance out. Like, maybe you do have, lack of better words, a really shitty day, like you sent out
the Patriots lose the Super Bowl.
I was going to try to have some fun and talk about that. So, you're in New England. Obviously that's where I'm from. We grew up together, and we were talking last night about, there's always, I've obviously, I think you too, like we've kind of, as most, probably teetered off of watching it religiously every Sunday or whatever day. But you have to kind of give a little bit of attention when you have a team that's playing in the Super Bowl for the umpteenth time from your hometown. But you told me you watched it with a bunch of Eagle fans yesterday.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man. Like, to see a room half in green, but yeah, we got 5 rings in 7 years. So right. It was, I don't know. Everyone, I think, thought that the Pats were going to just destroy them, but, yeah.
What do you think? We talked about it right before we went live. If anybody watches this in the next 24, 40 hours after we post it, close to the proximity of this day, what do you think? What the hell's going on? Like, what is there something we're not paying attention? I don't remember all the years that we've been able to experience New England winning the Super Bowl, right? And the euphoria that comes with it, and the camaraderie, and walking around in the area in New England, and a grocery store to a gas station. There's just this unity, right? There's this I've never once seen someone on a light pole ripping it down in the name of the New England Patriots. I don't. Am I missing something? I guess Philly fans are branded as being just assholes, I guess.
Yeah, well, they were planning on seeing riots whether they won or lost. So, and even here at UMass Amherst, there was 6 arrested and a few injuries. There were 2,000 people that all went into the center of the school, UMass, right where all the dorms are. And they were rioting, not in a super violent way, but they had to use gas and stuff on them.
It's incredible. I guess it's pretty much normal to have some kind of, when any kind of big sporting event or anything like that, I guess there's always going to be the expectation of having these idiots running around. But
mostly just drunk college students, really.
Right.
Because Saturday Night Live even did a skit the other day that was, they commented that Boston is just a, college city with a harbor,
Right.
It's just a bunch of colleges with a harbor. And it really is. I mean, you walk through Boston and it's like, geez, I feel old now when I go to Boston. It really is a city of students. And I mean, they're just gonna riot because they're young and they don't,
They don't care.
They don't care. We would have done it, I'm sure.
So, well,
if we were, in our early 20s again, who knows? But,
I think once again, we don't know, but I have a feeling that it's like it's pulling from something deeper than that. It's not, you know what I mean? It's obviously not. It's got to be some deep-seated anger towards the government or maybe their police force or something going on. They're just using that as a catalyst to just act even worse. But I just don't get the one thing I don't understand, and I'm sure we all share this in common with those that just don't get it, is causing bodily and or physical harm to like an inanimate object or an actual person. I just don't get. Now, don't get me wrong. You got a Pats guy giving you the finger, saying suck it, and then the guy hits him in the head. Like, okay, get it. That's happening all the time. But to rip down a light pole, I mean, this stuff's surfacing as we speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you know what else is kind of relatable, unrelated to sports, was I ended up finding myself at the Women's March in Northampton, Massachusetts, as we just spoke of.
When was this?
It was a few, the big Women's March. It was all over.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that was very recent.
Yeah,
like last week.
Recent. And it was a Saturday morning, and I was waking up. I'm a struggling inventor, by the way, so I was actually going out looking for a job and for some side work. And sure enough, I show up into this really liberal, oh my goodness,
right,
rainbow flag town. Great music scene, great everything. I love Northampton. I'm not talking, down on that. It's just a very liberal town. Anyways, Smith College is there. There's, a ton of great schools. UMass is right down the street. Anyways, so I roll up. I'm the last car they let through downtown area, and thousands of people marched over a mile into downtown Northampton, and they're all, pussy power signs.
Right.
And,
are they naked?
Trump, most of all, tons of Trump, just democracy
right.
and all this. And it's just, and it's kind of that same, fire that I think the sports fans are kind of releasing. It's just like, we're just so sick of things. We just don't know how to react. Right. So now that we're in a group, let's, put our power together and at least, make a statement that people can see. So whether it's, tearing down light posts or, having pussy power. Power pussy.
I said earlier, were they like, I've seen some crazy, we both did, this was many moons ago, we got involved in a demonstration in Northampton, accidentally. Same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you and I were chilling in Northampton. For those that don't know, once again, super chill town. Maybe more anyone that's watching this that's in my immediate area. It's almost similar to a St. Augustine, but I guess I could say almost like kind of better. Like it's not geared towards touristy and doesn't have the the history.
The bars and stuff.
Right. Great food scene, music scene, and just people in general. There's just a very freeing. Everyone's cool. So point being, we were chilling, and I remember. I don't know what the hell that was back then, but I remember it was
on like a drum and stuff.
Oh yeah, we were, and we definitely were doing a little. We had a couple libations, and I just remember we were totally in support of whatever it was. It wasn't something out completely ludicrous or like outlandish. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't something that hard to take part of it. It was, but I forget what it was. It must have been like 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
but what an experience just being. And
I just remember, we were going nuts out there. We were kind of dancing with them and banging on drums.
Yeah,
and Yeah, I mean, Northampton's one of those towns. I mean, liberal towns like that really like to be loud, and it's good. But as I'm standing there, with the crowd,
Right.
there's a part of me that like looks at it and like, what is really going? I mean, what is going on here? This is, it's just it's interesting. It's
Right.
interesting. It's interesting to just watch society, and you're a part of it. You feel what's happening, but sometimes you just got to sit back and sip on a greater good.
Right.
This one's called Pulp, by the way. This is a great one. New England style hazy juicy IPA.
Oh, is that an elephant on there?
No, it's two G's. Looks like antlers.
Oh, yeah. The camera's up there.
There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah. And this is a great one.
The name of the beer. What's the actual manufacturer? GG.
So it's Greater Good.
Oh, great. There you go.
It's from Worcester,
Oh.
Massachusetts.
Well,
So
there you go.
Shout out to Greater Good Brewery.
Nice.
Yeah, there's tons of breweries popping up. We just had one pop up down the road. Great new place called Drunken Rabbit. It's like 4 minutes from my house.
Is this the brewery that you were telling me that's like they're literally paying people to wait in line?
No,
Okay.
That's the Treehouse Brewery. If anyone watching this is into microbrews, they're one of the top breweries in the country right now. Right next to, there's a few other ones that compete with them, but yeah, talk about a business plan. Yeah. But yeah, if you're a craft brew guy, you know who Treehouse is. Everyone's pretty much trying to find their secret recipe. But they're creating things much like, actually, Sam Adams, I guess since this is a business and sipping show, we can talk about beer, right?
Yeah, of course.
Sam Adams, actually, I listened to NPR, How I Built This, and they had the guy who started Sam Adams. It was really interesting. He was one of the first craft brewers in the country. I mean, he was really the first guy to say, let's do something other than Heineken, Budweiser, Corona, and he did it. And actually, he just created what they call a New England style IPA, and Sam Adams just made one. It's actually pretty damn good.
Nice.
They're like real late to the game. There's a bunch of breweries that have already actually named it a New England style IPA. Like they got there, even claimed the category of beer before Sam Adams even created one. But yeah, if you want to try a really good New England style IPA, Sam Adams makes it now, so you can get that in Florida.
The actual the dude Sam Adams, is he still kicking? Is that was...
No, he used that name just as because he was Sam Adams from the history books. I think, and I believe, I heard it's a rumor. I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's real, but the guy on the Sam Adams logo isn't even Sam Adams. But he just used that name because it was a historical figure who people could relate to. Same as Apple uses an apple because people are like, oh, I know what an apple is.
Right.
That makes sense. I like it.
Let's see here. I'll do like a little Sam Adams. Oh, I see what you're saying. It's going to obviously refer to the founding father of the United States of America, that guy. He's cannot be confused with the beer guy.
But yeah, I heard rumors. We should find out if that photo on the label is actually the Sam Adams. I think they used a different historical figure because he had a prettier face. At least that's what I heard.
So that, I mean, we had talked about this when you had your last visit here to Flagler Beach. There's a great beer scene out there in New England, or especially where where you're at, and I think it's happening everywhere. But New England and more of the northern states in general always seem to kind of lead the way with music, and probably safe to say now with pretty much, I don't know. Is that am I? You think I'm biased by saying that because I'm from there? But I've always
progressive. I mean, you come from Florida where people go to retire,
right?
And, like we were saying, Boston and College City. So these people are just like, yeah, I could start a brewery. Like it's just these young progressive people who are again, people go to Florida and they're like, I'm going to play golf,
right,
the rest of my life. There's not progressive, Well, I mean, sure there is.
No, they're there. Of course, yes. That's a. I get your point, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a general statement, but I mean, yes, and there's definitely movements out here, whether restaurateurs, innovators, inventors, things of that nature. But it always seems to be. I mean, some of the best music still is from northerner states in general. It doesn't even have to be New England, but I remember that as a kid growing up. It was always some of the best music was like culminated from basements in New England.
Yeah.
So
Actually, speaking of music now, I was watching a late night show. I think it was Seth Meyers had the drummer of Nth Power on his show, and she was filling in. And I looked, and I was like, "That's
her."
I love her." And Keith's like, "Ooh," I'm like, Nth Power. And I guess they just had a new album release. You should check out. And she was also the drummer for Beyonce for like 3 or 4 years.
I remember you telling me that.
So she's got her name out there as being one of the best female.
I forget. Let me see something here. This is
one of the best female drummers, and
Nikki Glaspie.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't know her name.
This is her, Nikki Glaspie. Well, I'm showing it on the. Let's see if you can see. I don't know. I actually won't do it that way, but.
Yeah, she's great. I definitely check them out. And she was a Berkeley student in Boston. And all these guys are Boston, prodigies. Super, super good. They're Christian band. Real powerful stuff.
She balls out though, man. I love when you showed me her. It's funny. I don't know how many. I feel like we should just do so many of these people. It's like we get to talk about things that are so fun because I remember you always have been my inspiration for most things, but music being one of them. And I remember that was about a year ago. I think I did my generic Nick, send me some music, and you'll just give me a list of bands, and that was one of them. And I found her, and dude, you know what I love more about? She's one of those drummers, like you said, that's so versatile. That's just. Most of her stuff is like almost her jamming. Now her sessions, obviously, they're like recorded and they're balling out. But it's just I love seeing. There's some drummers that just seem like they're like they're more. It's just so orchestrated, so to speak. I don't know, like regimented, and she just is like I want to chill with her. Like I want to jam with her.
Yeah, she seems pretty badass.
Yes, she does. Yeah, dude. That's freaking. So, is that band from New England as well?
Yeah, she's from Boston.
Wow.
Actually, most of them are Berkeley students, I believe. So they're all in Berkeley. Is a music school, and it's one of the top music schools in the country. I have some friends who tried getting in. Some did, some didn't. But it's really tough, and they make you, you're going into this school and you have to learn like 3 different styles of music, and you sit down with these professors, and
right.
You've got to perform in front of them, and talk about pressure. That's what's going to get you into school is performing in front of these guys. It's just what was her name again? What'd you say?
It is. She is. Let's see, because I put in. So Nikki Glaspie.
Okay.
And the Nikki Glaspie. Nikki Glaspie. I mean, dude, she's incredible.
Because we could do. I was gonna say you could actually preview a little bit. You can share a screen, and you can share. You can share just. Let's see. Check this out. Here we go.
So dope. kind of makes me. It's so bittersweet watching that because it makes me so jealous when people have such sick setups, huh?
Yeah.
Not just not just her kit, like the actual, like the session. I mean, like,
Yeah.
God bless.
Did that go into full screen when I did
No,
that?
it didn't, but you could see it. But you know what we're gonna do? I think, Nick, is I'm kind of taking notes throughout this, and things that we reference, I'll end up putting it in like the actual bio, and then when we post it on Facebook, we'll tag a lot of these people, man. I mean, it's
what's great is the ability to share screens, and it allows you to grab just a window.
Right.
So just pulled up Photoshop. Well, I could still see your screen of view, and it's cool. So if we're referencing something like a drum solo, you can just pull it up while we're talking.
Well, shout outs to I feel like we've all been in our demographic and in our age group, so to speak, we're influenced by Joe Rogan and those high profile podcasters. I mean, that's what Jamie's doing for Joe, right? Like, he starts talking about some shit and he's like, Jamie's got it pulled up on the thing. But I mean, as we continue to do these, we'll get better with them. But I mean, overall, dude, I love it. I'm having fun. I guess that's all about.
Well, I think we got a buzz too. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we got a little. So here, my goal is like every guest that I have. I mean, obviously you're not close, but every guest that I have gets. Can you see this? Can you see mine?
I can see it. Yeah, I see
Is it backwards?
No, it's good.
Oh, okay, mine's backwards. Obviously, I'm looking at it like a mirror.
Yeah.
Man. So I got these made, and if you're a guest, because I guess some of the guests I'll have will be here physically with me. But those
you can cheers with the glass.
Yeah, cheers and even make them drink faster. Or
you should really have Nicholas. I really had a great time hanging out.
Oh, Kimball.
He would be a great guest for your show.
There you go. Shout out to Nick Kimball.
Shout out. Kimball's been he was good to me, man, while I hung out in Flagler. He
Great dude.
Showed me a bunch of stuff, some stock market stuff I was blown away by, which is really cool. I never got to see a stockbroker just moving numbers around, and he kind of described it as a video game, and it really is.
Right. Well, don't give him too much credit. That is actually a video game that he does. He's just playing on a video game.
Yeah, but
no, I'm just kidding.
He told me he actually developed the software.
Yeah.
That so the guy, he not only coded the software to trade stocks, he doesn't give it away. I mean, it's his personal software that he built to make money, thousands of dollars a day. It's crazy.
He's a sharp dude, man. I tip my hat off to him. Growing up here, no one doesn't know who he is. It's just a lot of people I don't think know how much he's done.
Yeah,
and behind the curtain, and
I was saying he might be a great interview for you. So something to keep in mind for future video podcasts.
Have you guys kept in touch at all, or it was?
No, I've been thinking about sending him a text recently.
Yeah.
I might in the future, for sure.
Cool, dude. I try to whenever I get to bump into him, I just try to pick his brain, and I'm like, Nicholas, share some, and he did the last time we talked to keep his ship on lock. He was already working on stuff that already has now peaked. And is he always seems to have that knack. He's a super sharp dude. One day I'll have him on there if he'd be so kind to join. But
ahead of the curve.
So yeah, I think it's interesting too. I think it's possible, but as we do more of these, having a third party, having another person, I think it's got to be possible. All right, I got a little buzz going here. Nicholas, and here we are.
Do you think that's what are we at for time here?
I don't know. I haven't even been keeping track. I just figured we just go with it. No, I guess that's good.
Yeah, I'm kind of craving a cigarette. Can we clock out and then come back and I'll refresh a beer. I'm out of beer. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, you gotta really refresh. We could just call it too. We can just call the show. First show.
Cool. First show.
Maybe I'll call you private line so we can.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Well, how can people get in touch with you? By the way, if you like, what do you moving into this? Like, what do you wanna?
What's my plug?
Yeah. What do you want to push here?
You know,
Can't do your porn site. We can't do that one yet.
pickledesign@gmail.com if you need some design work. As you saw, I got illustrators. I got guys who can do 3D rendering. So as far as design, yeah, pickle design, Pickel design@gmail.com. My name's Nick.
Instagram?
I'm off, man.
You're
I'm
off?
all social media sites.
Holy shit.
So, that's the only way to reach me right now.
Okay. All right. Well, and or you could just reach out to me and I'll find you.
Boom. All right. This is Nick signing off. Thanks, Vincent.
All right, cuz. Love you, bud.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.